Hi there. This video is hoping to unpack some of the changes that we have seen in society over the last few days, insofar as they relate to church and what it means for us at Corridor Valley. As I was thinking about these changes, the passage from Hebrews 10 came to mind, where we are encouraged to hold firmly to the hope that we claim to have, because the God who promised is faithful. Let us consider how we can stir one another to love. Let us help one another to do good works. And let us not give up meeting together. Some are in the habit of doing this. Instead, let us encourage one another with words of hope. Let us do this even more as we see Christ's return approaching. Some great words of encouragement there. In the midst of the current crisis, it's really difficult to continue to encourage each other up through online video and phone calls. We're made for relationship, and we're made to be together, and we're made for community. And yet I believe this is also a great time for the church to proclaim the hope that we have, and to continue to meet creatively and encourage one another as we seek to be Christ to the people around us. We are aware that all of these changes have happened so incredibly quickly. And for some people who struggle with the peculiarities of technology, things like video conferencing for life groups can appear too hard. We've been thinking about this, and one of the things that we are looking to do is to ask if people have any spare laptops or devices around the place that they will be happy to loan to others. If you have any of those, we would encourage you to get in touch with Rob Ziesch, and he will set those up for video conferencing so that others can use them pre-set up, ready to go. And then obviously when this whole situation dies down and there is no longer a need for that, that laptop will obviously come back to you. We can work out different ways about some of the technicalities of that. More information about that in the e-news a bit later. We're really keen to offer lots of opportunities to connect. Aside from Sunday mornings, we are looking at Bible readings on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. online. Regular opportunities for online prayer. We had 4 opportunities this last week. Mainly music. Normally meets at Mondays in the church. We are still meeting at Mondays, but at home, with a pre-recorded session and then an opportunity to catch up via video conferencing after that. Life groups are also now online. Many of you last week have met in homes, but unfortunately with the recent government restrictions and all that is happening at the moment, the strong synod advice is that we do not meet together apart from in our own households. This will be hard for some, and part of hopefully trying to get some of these devices and laptops up and running might help with some of that for us to keep in contact. We're also looking to put together a one-page quick start guide for Zoom, and Kat, I know, has run a recent life group training session for some of the life groups to help them understand that a bit more. Prayer is so important in all of this, and obviously we can pick up the phone and talk with our family about matters of things that we'd like to pray about. There's also an opportunity during the services to hit the request prayer button, and that will start up a confidential prayer request with one of the staff team who will be online to pray with you in that virtual sense. All very weird, but at the same time, very real. When 2 people are gathered together, we understand that the Lord is there with us. For those who are unable to watch 10 o'clock on Sunday, those video sessions from church will also be available in the messages space. And also new from this week, we are running at 9:20 a short interactive session for our kindy kids, at 9:30 for our KBG primary school kids, and then at 9:45 an opportunity for families to connect via Zoom for about 10 or 15 minutes, just briefly before worship service at 10 o'clock. Those children's sessions will run during term time, and we're really looking forward to offering that to our families. We are hearing lots of wonderful stories and ways in which God is at work, and people are reaching out to their neighbours and community in really creative ways. One of those will be briefly shown during our worship service on Sunday morning. We would encourage you that if you know of those such situations, or you've got a story of where you see God at work, get in touch with us. We'd love to allow that to be recorded and included in our worship service. We're hoping to have something each week if we possibly can. We're also understanding that all this online communication can be a bit much for some people. And we are hoping that it's not too much of a tricky, difficult situation for you. We are putting in place a process where there will be different people in the congregation calling each other up over the next week or so. And we are hoping that that will be an opportunity for you to connect with people in a different way. They'll be offering that phone call each week. For some people, that may not be necessary. You may already be really well connected. But we'd like to at least offer that. And for some people, it could be the beginning of a new friendship. Last week, Simon encouraged us all to continue in our financial giving to the work of God through the church at Coro. Church Council is working on a letter, understanding that this is a difficult and a tricky time, and looking at creative ways in which we can continue to support God's work at the church. We are also encouraging that if you are giving through envelopes or cash, that we now move to some sort of online process. We currently have the EFT system set up, and you'll find details for that on the website and the app. But from next week, we're also going to have the ability to donate one-off donations directly through the website and the app, through a new payment system that's been put in place this last week. We are not wanting anyone to feel under any compulsion to give. We know that this is a very difficult time. There is lots of questions around job security and finances, but would encourage you to put faith in the Lord, who has always provided for our needs, and I believe will continue to do so. I mentioned direct debits earlier. For some people, again, that can be a challenge setting that up. And if you would like to offer some help in setting that up over the phone with anybody, then I'd love to hear from you. And we can put you in touch with those people to be able to step them through the process over the phone. The church office is now officially closed. There will still be staff in from time to time, but we have been requested by Synod not to have more than 2 staff there at a time. And so many of us will be working from home. We can still be reached by email and mobile. But if you used to pop into the office to pick something up or drop something off, it would be good to phone or text beforehand and arrange a time when someone can meet you there. This is indeed a time of great turmoil and change. But in the midst of that, can I encourage us to remember that the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, that he is utterly dependable and faithful to the end, and he carries us right through all the storms in life. We're encouraging each other not to give up meeting together, even though we may be doing that virtually at the moment. And also encouraging each other to look out for those around us, to be sharing the love that we know and that we have in Jesus with our community and with our neighbourhood, and hoping and trusting that this will be a wonderful witness to them of what it means to have a living hope in the one who lives for us. Thank you all. More details about all of this in the email. We look forward to seeing you online soon.